Welcome to another edition of the AGP Sport for today, June the 5th. I'm Samuel Gillis. Thanks for joining us. We start by telling you, after 5 weeks of competition, it's down to Tiger Bay and Back Circle, who would walk away with bragging rights come this Saturday. Stanford Howard has more in this report.
With a total of 211 goals scored to date and 24 teams clashing in the 4th annual Corona Futsal Tournament, it all came down to the top 2 teams, Tiger Bay and Back Circle. At a press briefing on Wednesday, co-director of Petro Organization Troy Mendonca noted that never before has there been a matchup in the finals in small goal football such as this one.
I think Saturday is going to be a real movie. These 2 teams that would have reached to the finals deservedly being there based on their performance throughout the tournament. And, it's going to be a match that culminates 5 weeks of exhilarating football at the National Gymnasium on Saturday. I think we expect the fans to be very colorful, very vicious, very supportive, and very nice to each other.
Skipper of Tiger Bay, Dion Alfred, who tops the leaderboard with 15 goals, said that after 3 years of competition and exiting into the quarterfinals, they are ready for whatever is brought to them on game night.
We decide to bring in little players like Salo, bring back Salo home, and Chip bring in our 2 senior national players. So the combination between Salo and me with Awo is a little experience, and a team is strong from the players coming out from the bench. And when the players on the bench, I'm positive with the starting 4. There's no way the team could succeed and go reach the destiny we have to reach. So, fellas, so fans, just thank for supporters, come out and fly your colors, the red. It's Tiger Bay, we got the orange, support Back Circle. Let's fly the colors and come out, enjoy the fun.
He predicted that the game would not finish in full time and patrons might be able to enjoy a little extra time game based on how their opponents has been playing in the tournament. Speaking to the media also about the clash was skipper of Back Circle, Selwyn Williams, who said that his team is basically the youngest in Guyana that dominates road and gym ball. And despite meeting 7 finals, they didn't have the upper edge to carry it all the way previously.
What I can assure you out there, the fans and our family and friends, that we will bring home these finals to you. We're a young bunch, experienced in our own way, and we don't have this big name team, big name players. We managed to get one player that no one was looking in his direction, which is Trey and Bob, and he turns out to be Back Circle's most lethal weapon, more so. Riding away with that hero bike on Saturday night.
The championship prize stands at 500,000 Guyana dollars. Second to 4th place will pocket 250,000, 150,000, and 75,000, respectively. Most valuable player and a lucky fan are also expected to be rewarded handsomely with a hero motorbike from Rose Ramdial Auto Sales. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
The Guyana Amateur Powerlifting Federation is seeking to give account of its stewardship since its election in early January, and also seeking to be transparent on their plans and achievements so far. Hear more in this report.
One of the things that we would like to move forward with is making some international connections. Countries where we have representatives here. Trinidad, Mexico, Belgium, Netherlands, and Spain. Those are the few that we have earmarked, and hopefully after we get over some of the issues we have right now, we'll be able to make these approaches and move forward.
That was David Gomes, a vibrant committee member of the Guyana Amateur Powerlifting Federation. In detailing the plans of the federation for the remainder of the year, he outlined storage and movements of equipment as one area that has proved challenging.
When you have a competition is in excess of a truckload of equipment that has to be moved, right now it's presently being stored at the Aquatic Center. Although we are very comfortable in the sense that that was provided for us at short notice, it's not really convenient in the sense that the equipment is there amongst all the equipment and we have to move it on. We have to make an arrangements to get it out. The ideal for us is to actually build a trailer where we actually have the equipment in the trailer It's moved to a spot, and when we need the equipment, we just pick the trailer up and move it to the venue.
Other plans in the pipeline, according to Mr. Gomes, are the insurance coverage for athletes, giving back to sponsors, fundraising, decentralizing the sport, and prudent financial management of funds and resources of the Federation. For HGP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
In football news, the Golden Jaguars tackle Bermuda in their first friendly ahead of their Gold Cup debut, just days ahead. More in this report.
The friendly, which is booked for the National Sports Centre on Thursday, is a match that both teams will be using to get things right ahead of their debut at this summer's CONCACAF Gold Cup. The two nations have a lot in common as they continue their walk into history. It is the first time they have both qualified for the highest possible tournament in the Confederation. Guyana has been drawn in Group D along with the USA, Panama and Trinidad and Tobago, while Bermuda is in Group B alongside Haiti, Costa Rica and Nicaragua. The two sides have already traded words during a press conference earlier Wednesday. Sharing the head table were respective head coaches and captains, Guyana's Michael Johnson and Sam Cox and Bermuda's Kyle Lightbourne and Dante Liverrock. Speaking at the briefing, the GFF head Michael Johnson stated, "We've just got to go about our business and make sure we are mentally prepared, physically prepared, and when we go out there, perform at the standards that we know we are capable of doing." Jalen Samuels, HGP Sport.
The Guyana Football Federation's pre-season transfer window is open to accommodate players' transfer, both locally and internationally. More from Stanford Howard.
The 2-month transfer window opened on June 1st and will conclude on July 31st, 2019. And players are asked to maximize the opportunity in a timely manner. A domestic transfer, in order to consider procedurally correct, must involve the former club, the player, the former regional member association, the new club, and the new RMA in case of a transfer out of the former association. Unless and until all of these entities are informed and involved, and provided that none of these raise any legitimate concerns with the attempt to transfer and refuse to concur or approve the transfer is incomplete. The new club has recourse of seeking the intervention of the relevant RMA or subsequently the GFF, if it's so of the view that the transfer is being unjustly hindered by the former club or the relevant RMA. In the case of international transfers, the process begins at the new club, which requests and initiates the process via the International Transfer Matching System, ITMS, following discussions with the former clubs. The process for domestic transfers is as follows. The new club confirms the players has an interest in the transfer, and if so, the new club may contact with the former club to negotiate the transfer agreement. 2. If it's agreed upon, the new club collects the transfer document from the relevant RMA. 3. Each entity involved fills and signs their allocated part of the form, namely the player, the former club, and the new club. 4. The form is then submitted to the relevant RMA, which confirm the authenticity of the involvement of each party. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
And finally in cricket, New Zealand and India recorded wins on Wednesday, beating Bangladesh and South Africa respectively. Jalen Samuels filed this report.
Another low-scoring match, South Africa managing to reach only 227, an under-par score against a powerful Indian lineup with none of the South African batsmen reaching a half-century. This case, apart from some decent spells, was light work for the Indians with a rock-solid 118 from Rohit Sharma and a well-put-together 34 from Mahendra Singh Dhoni, saw the Indians comfortably home with 6 wickets and 15 balls to spare. New Zealand also proved too good for a shaky Bangladesh lineup, with the run target being 245 a victory, which New Zealand achieved with 17 balls and 2 wickets to spare. Left-hander Shakib Al Hassan did try, he made 64, but nothing else from the other batsmen meant it was all down to the bowlers to try to contain the opposition, but this was not the case. Thursday will bring together the Australians and the West Indies a match the world is waiting to see. The winner will depend on the Windies team that shows up in Nottingham. Jaden Samuels, HGP Sport.
And that's all we have for this edition of the HGP Sportscast. But do remember, success is not an happening, it is a result. There is nothing mysterious about progressing. It is doing instead of doubting and working instead of wishing. Goodbye.